Hi everybody and welcome to the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen. My name's Laura and I'm here today to show you some homemade Christmas gifts. So I've just put a selection of gifts together that you can make yourself at home and give out to friends and family. I just think sometimes a nice little homemade personal gift is really nice to receive, and also don't have to make it just as a gift, you could make it for yourself and for your family as well. So I think if we're just going to switch, oh, and I just need to say, today in the kitchen there's just me and Maria. We're all by ourselves, so you're going to have to bear with us because we've never done it just the two of us before. So Maria's going to be reading out your comments and answering the questions as best that she can. She's not going to be doing the mini video because obviously she's behind the other camera. Carol and Laura are at the warehouse doing the refit today, and that's why they can't be with us. So please bear with us. We will do our best to get through them, and if there's anything that you've missed, then please run through and catch up later when the Facebook Live goes on back onto the page or onto the YouTube channel. All the recipes are on the Sugar and Crumbs website, which is www.sugarandcrumbsmixingitup.com. Yeah, that's it. I have to think about it. They're all on the back of all our packaging, which is here. So the address is there in that little box. So you'll find that on the icing sugar and the cocoa powder. So please do go and have a look. You can print off the recipes as well, so you can have them to hand, which is great. And like I say, they're all on there bar one, but it will be on there later today. So just a couple of things that I need to go through before we get started today. So I'm just going to quickly show you what it is that we're making, and then I'm just going to show you a few of the new products that we've got on the website, or that are going to be on the website by later on today. So if we can just pop over to this camera here. So today I'm going to be making with you some red velvet snowballs, which are these ones here. Now I've just put them in these little mini cupcake cases. I've got some little green ones here, I've got some red ones there. They're just handy little cases for things like this, or if you're doing anything truffle size, then they're great, but also you can use them for mini cupcakes. And then after we've done that, we're going to make these little teddy bears. Now these are little gingerbread creams. Can you see that all right? Yes. So it's just a little teddy bear, just a little idea to do with the kids. Very simple to make, very easy for the kids to make as well, but also nice to give to kids in the Christmas Eve boxes as something different, or just to make over Christmas, just as a little treat for them. So we're going to be doing those. I've done gingerbread flavour, but you can obviously choose any flavour from the ice and sugar range that you want. Next, I'm going to be making these snowy chocolate crackle cookies, which are here. Now I've popped some in a box there just to show how you could possibly give them to your friends and family. Just a few in a little box wrapped up with some ribbon, does look really nice. And then I've done some, I'm not going to do these ones today, but it's just to show you that you can vary the recipe slightly. I've done the same biscuit, but I've added in a little red colour into these ones, so it looks like a red velvet cookie, but it's just, you know, just preference of what you want to do. So that's 3 of the recipes, and then the last thing I'm going to show you is just something that I make for my kids at Christmas, which are these little hot chocolate cones. Now it's just a little bit of fun, it's nothing hard to make, but this is actually made in a piping bag. So I'm going to show you how to make them. They're just nice in these little Christmas Eve boxes that everybody started doing over the last few years. And I've actually used our Sugar and Crumbs chocolate cherry cocoa powder in this. So not only is it, you know, a nice little gift, it's a different type of hot chocolate that you could make. And you've got your marshmallows in there, and you've got your little Smarties as well. So I'm going to show you them later. Okay, so I'm just going to run through some of the products that are going on the website, are already on there. So there's new products, so I think we can see them on this camera here. Yes. Yep. So we've got these new colours from Renshaw, which is the ready to roll icing paste. There's a few different ones. There's dark brown, there's this lovely cool grey, which I don't know about you, but I found really difficult to try and get a nice grey. So we've got that one there. And then this one is the sapphire blue. And then this one is called the Cassis. Cassis? I think that's how you said it. But this is actually Renshaw's colour of the year, 2018/2019. It is an absolutely beautiful colour and so different, and probably one that you would find quite difficult to do yourself. So they're all going to be on the website if they're not already on there. So I'll just pop them aside. And then we're going to pop back over here and show you some other bits that are new. So we've got these really cute little, you see that there, Maria?
Yes.
FMN cute dinosaurs. So they're little cutters. I think there's 6 different dinosaur designs there. Great for little boys or girls dinosaur cake. Seems to be a popular design that I've seen lately. And then the other one here, you have to excuse, they've been open for photographs, so it's like sliding about, is the cheeky accessory set. So we've got some lips and some underwear and some other things, great for hen parties, things like that. And then next we've got, for Christmas, we've got the cookie cutters. We've got a nice little mitten here. It's got the comfort grip at the top here, so it makes it easier that when you're cutting your cookie you don't have to get that little indentation in your hand, and also it's better for the kids as well. So we've got that there. And then we've got this new range of sprinkles which have come in from Wilton. We've got a selection here, and they're like pearlescent sort of. I don't know whether you can see on the camera.
Yes.
But we've got gold, we've got silver, we've got like this really nice pinky colour here. There's hearts, there's stars, there's crowns, there's all sorts of different things. Oh, some little flamingos as well there. So they're going to be on the website. So take a look at those. They'll be on the website under new products with Maria, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, and then we've got this big bag here, which is, if you've ever seen those cakes where they have the second tier covered, this in like sequins, and this is that bag there. So you just cut a creamy cake and stick these on, and you get a really nice effect. So I haven't got prices for any of these, but if you go on the website later, you will see them. We've got a really cute stencil here for cakes and cookies. There's 2 sizes in there, so you can use them on top of your iced biscuits and cakes. So that's that one. And then lastly, just going to pop that down there, we've now got in stock the mini message sweet stamps by Amy. So I know the sweet stamps have been really popular in the big designs to go around your cake board and your cakes, but these are great for your little cupcakes, your biscuits, anything really you need to get a small message on. So you get the bar and you can just put your message in and then just imprint that on there. So we've got those as well. So I think that's everything, is it there? New
Yes.
products, yeah? There is these, they're your like jowl straws, I suppose. The big pack there. So they're going to be on the website. I'm not sure of the price of those, but take a look. I think they'd last you quite a bit of time, so it looks good value. So let's move on back. So as I said before, I have got 3 recipes and then the little reindeer cones to show you today. So I'm going to get moving. I'm going to start with the red velvet snowballs, and the reason being is in between me making them, they need to go in the freezer for 10-15 minutes. So I'm going to get started with those, pop them in the freezer, start my next recipe and then come back. So they are slightly different colours, so hopefully I won't confuse you too much about that. So I'm going to run through what we need, and then I'm going to pop it in my mixer. So I've got a mixer here ready, and I've already weighed out here 300 grams of self-raising flour, which I'm just going to pop into, is this the middle?
Yes.
Here? Yeah?
Yes, perfect.
So I've got 300 grams of self-raising flour, which I'm going to pop into there. And then I'm going to add to that 30 grams of cocoa powder, which I've not measured out, but is roughly, it's roughly about 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. I dropped a Smartie in here yesterday, so I'm just trying to avoid it. So I'm just going to put in 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. I'm just using the ball and fill one for this one. So we're going to pop that in there. Then next we're going to add to that 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So I'll use this. So this is all our dry ingredients. I'm just going to pop that into there as well. And then last of all, we just need 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Now I'm never sure if there's any salt in the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen, so I just like to bring my big tub for the smallest amount. We're just going to pop that in there as well. So anybody that's watching that's new to the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen, you will see that I'm not wearing gloves. I have managed to get an apron on today. I've not got my hair tied up. It's our own kitchen. We're doing these tutorials for you just to give you ideas, just like I would in my own kitchen at home when I'm baking for the family. This is how I do everything. Everything that I make today is just going to be eaten by me and Maria, looks like, because there's only 2 here. So Maria's happy. So everything that's here is it's not being sold, it's being ate by people that want to eat it. So there's no panic about anything that we're doing. Maria's happy to eat whatever I make, aren't you, Maria? Yes. So have we got quite a lot of people joining us yet, Maria?
Yes.
Yeah, a few. So hi everybody that has managed to join us so far. I'm only just getting started with the first recipe, so hopefully you've not missed too much if you're just joining in. So I'm just going to quickly run over what I'm doing. I'm doing the red velvet snowballs. In my bowl I've got 300 grams of self-raising flour, 30 grams of cocoa powder, 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. So I'm just going to give that a little mix in there. Okay, next you will need 240 grams of unsalted butter, which I've already weighed out and got here. So I'm just going to pop that straight into the mixer, and it's gone hard because I've left it out on the side and it is freezing in here. Just bear with me 2 seconds. I'm just going to give it a quick melt. Just bear with me a moment. Is there any questions, Maria, so far?
No, what they are saying that they would like to eat as well, all the kids. But not, it's all for me.
Yeah, Maria's happiest day. So I'll just be a moment getting that melted. So I have set the oven all ready for today. The recipes that I'm using that are going to the oven all go in at 140 degrees. So the oven is already set. While I'm just waiting for that butter to soften, which it sounds like it's ready. I've just got out here a baking tray. It doesn't really matter what size you use because we're just going to roll the balls. And then I've got some baking paper, which we're just going to lay out onto there. So we're just going to pop our snowballs on here and then pop them into the freezer. So you don't need to grease it or anything, just the paper. I'm just going to grab that butter. Just nicely soften now. It's a problem when your kitchen's so cold. Okay, so we're just going to get that in there, and then we're going to measure out on my, let's put that aside, scales here. We need 250 grams of icing sugar, and I'm going to use today the Santa Snowball to go with my red velvet. Traditionally, most people would just use vanilla, but I thought I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to add in this Santa Snowball. It's one of my favourite winter flavours, and it works really well with this recipe. So I need 250 grams of this, and this is going to go in with the butter
Phil is asking where can she buy this mat?
This mat?
Yes.
I think we sell them on the website. Yeah, but they're on the website. I don't know how much they are, but I'm pretty sure that they're on there. There's 2 sizes, I think, as well, isn't there? There's a smaller one. We've got quite a big island here, so this one is ideal, but the mat is brilliant. It's great for doing anything, rolling out icing, your measurements as well, it's got on there. So it's actually helped me this morning with my recipe because I wrote it down in cups. And then I was thinking, I'm not going to be able to tell anybody what that is in grams, so I converted it on this mat this morning, which was quite handy. So let's get the rest of this out. There. Okay, so 250 grams of icing sugar I'm adding in with the butter. And we're just going to beat this in. So I'm going to get my tea towel. I've already got a bit of a cloud, so I'm just going to give that a quick mix till it's mixed in a little bit before I take the tea towel off.
Helen is saying thank you for the roulade recipe. She made it and she said that it's amazing.
Brilliant. I bet it is really easy to make, and it is a lovely and light recipe. So what was the name of that lady, sorry? Helen. And the recipe that Helen's talking about, I did a couple of weeks ago on the live towards the end of November, so it is on the YouTube channel. It is a lovely meringue roulade, which is just so light and creamy, and it's perfect for over Christmas. It's not too heavy, so even if you're absolutely stuffed after your Christmas turkey, you will definitely manage to get a piece in. So definitely give that one a go. It's nice to know that somebody has. So I'm just going to beat that a little bit louder, so I'll try and speak louder. Okay, so we're just going to beat that into it's nice and creamy, which it is. So then next we're going to add in the 2 eggs. So I've just used 2 large eggs there that I've already de-shelled, and we'll just mix them in. We'll just let the eggs. Never think of that word, what the word is when you say you want them to incorporate. I'm not good with words. Honestly, I stand in my kitchen baking and there's no one there because I try and do it when everybody's out. There's nobody there, and you don't have to think about talking or telling anybody what you're saying. So when you come here, it's a bit like, what do I need to say? So bear with me. So we're just going to have a scrape down here, making sure that everything's being mixed in at the same time. Okay, so next I need to sort out somewhere to put this. I'll just pop it there. So we've got some of our wet ingredients. We need to add in some red food colouring. So I'm just going to use one that I use quite a lot at home is the Christmas Red from Colour Splash. That's available on the website as well here.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah. I'm just going to add a little bit of this in with a little bit of white vinegar, which I picked up this morning from the supermarket. It's about 39p. So even though it's not something that you use on a regular basis, it is something that for that much money it doesn't really matter too much, and it lasts for quite a long time as well. So I'm just going to add a tablespoon into this bowl here. Oops, wasn't expecting it to have a squeezy lid. So you can mix your cocoa powder in with the vinegar as well if you wanted to first. I'm just a bit backwards. So I'm just going to do my vinegar and my colour at the same time and then add that in. So I'm going to put quite a bit in because I want quite a nice deep red colour. I'll just put the lid on so I don't get that everywhere. And then just give that a stir in. You just need to have that at the side. Don't worry about it smelling really vinegary because you won't taste that once you put it in. So next I'm going to add in, can you see if I put that there?
Just about.
Adjust the camera. So So Maria's having to do the job of 3 today. So I'm just going to add in the flour. Are you on that camera?
Yes.
So we've got the flour and the cocoa powder, all those dry ingredients mixed there. And I'm just going to fold that in to start with. Just to try and mix some of it into the butter so it doesn't go everywhere. So I'm just chopping it through. Okay. Scrape down a bit off here as well. So even though I've melted this butter, it's just going hard at the same time because of this weather. Okay, and then to that I'm just going to add in, sorry, not very good with this camera, my red colour in with that vinegar. Try and get all that in. I'm not very good at using my left hand to show stuff. So we're just going to give that another quick mix. So what we're trying to get is like a doughy texture. So there's not much wet ingredients in there. So we just want it to go into a nice dough that we can shape. I'm just going to give that, but we don't want to overwork it at the same time because we still want it to be soft. So I'm just going to stop that there. Give it another quick scrape down because I want to make sure that that red colouring is going all through the mix. So it's up to you how much colouring you want to put in, how deep a red you want. So we'll just see how we get on. I've got quite a lot of red around me mixer. There we go. So I just sometimes have a bit of milk on standby with this recipe as well, just because if my dough does get a little bit too held together, I can just add a little bit of milk to loosen it slightly.
Can you repeat what you are making?
So we're making red velvet snowballs, which are these here. So they're like a little truffle size, it's like a cake ball, I suppose, but it's like a doughy cake. So it's in between a truffle and a cake. So it's a bit different, but they are really nice. They last for about a week in a container, or if you put them in like a little gift box or something. But it's just a little idea, a little gift for Christmas, just something for you to make. So let me just stop this. Okay. So we'll just have one more scrape down and we'll get this out. My hand in the way.
No, it's perfect.
Okay. So as I was saying before, the recipe for anything that I make today on the live is on the website, apart from this one, but it will be on later today when I get home. I just didn't have time between all these Christmassy things that are going on at the moment with schools and stuff. But I will get it on. The other recipes are on there. Okay, so I'm coming back over to here. I'm just going to remove my rings, if I can get them off. Okay, so what you need to do next is try and scrape as much down as you possibly can from the sides of your mixer. And then, where's that tablespoon? I'll just use this. So the size of the snowball is, it's like a bite size sort of thing. You don't want it to be too big that you have it to keep eating it. It just wants to be an either chuck it all in the mouth sort of thing or 2 bites. So roughly a tablespoon of the mixture you just want to bring out at a time. And it's like Play-Doh-y sort of, not Play-Doh. Sounds awful, doesn't it, when you're baking and you start saying things Play-Doh, but it's not sticky. Well, it is sticky at the same time, but it's not sticky where it's leaving a mess, if that makes sense. Can you see it?
Yes, perfect.
So what we're going to do, so I've got about a tablespoon's worth there, and you're just going to roll it between your palms. I don't seem to have palms that can roll stuff into a round shape, so I normally end up with a a bit of an odd shape, but then I'll just push it back in. So we're just going to roll it like that, and then we're going to pop it onto the baking paper. Do you see that, Maria?
Yes, perfect.
So just going to get a few done. So in this mixture, you could probably get about 25. But as I say, it depends on how much you've used, what size you've gone for. So if you make them really big, you're obviously going to get less. If you make them really small, then you're going to get more. So just bear with me, because I want to get quite a few out so that they can freeze and we can get them in the oven later. So the reason why they need to be freezed in between you making them and baking them is because you don't want them to spread. So we're freezing them so that when we put them in the oven, they're going to stay as balls, which is what we're after. And they smell lovely. There we go. I realise how long this is going to take me. Is there any more questions?
Well, they are
Anybody
asking
asking?
for a vegan recipe.
A what recipe? A vegan recipe?
Yes, so if you can make a vegan...
Without eggs?
Yes.
Okay. I was talking to my mum, who's Carol by the way, if I say mum, about vegan recipes. I have got quite a few vegan recipes that I have done. It's just having time to do them, especially with me having my little boy at home. But after Christmas he is going to be going to nursery, which I'm sad about, but at the same time happy about, because it means that I'll have a bit more time to myself. But I have got a few vegan recipes that I would like to share with you. So I think we're planning on doing in the new year a vegan live, which will all be vegan recipes. But at the moment there is a couple on the website that have already been done in the past, but there is going to be a few more coming up in the new year. So you will have to tune in and have a look.
How long do you freeze them?
They need to be freezed for about 10-15 minutes, but it's probably going to be a bit longer here today because I'm going to be doing something else in between. So I'm just going to do another 2, and then I'm going to put this aside, because otherwise by the time I've rolled out 25 I think you'll be a bit bored of watching. So I'm just going to do one more, and then we're going to get them in the freezer, and then I'm going to bake these and come back to it later. So there's our last one. So I've got 10 there, so plenty enough to show you what we're going to do next. So bear with me a second while I just go and wash my hands, and then if Maria can pop that in the freezer,
Yes.
that would be great. Thank you very much. So just be a few moments while we just change over. Quiet in the kitchen today. Never normally this quiet. Okay, so just need to have a quick wipe down. I suppose the only downside today with just me and Maria being in the kitchen is that we've got to do the cleaning up.
Oh.
At least we can do it over a snack or 2. Okay, so I'm just having a wipe down here, and we can get ready for the next recipe. Okay. So they've gone into the freezer now, and we're going to move on to our snowy crackle, chocolate crackle cookies, which I'm going to be using the sugar and crumbs, chocolate, cherry, cocoa powder, and then I'm going to be rolling them in the black cherry icing sugar. I just thought I'd try and keep it cherry themed. You can use velvet vanilla, you could use something else, it's entirely up to you, but this is what I'm going to use today. So we'll just pop them aside there. Okay, so to start with, you need to melt there. Are they in the way?
Yes, Abby.
Yeah, thank you. So in here I've got 150 grams of dark chocolate. I've just used the Dr. Oetker's bar of baking chocolate. I've used the extra dark just because I think it gives a really nice flavour. Definitely gives that chocolatey cookie vibe that you want to have. So I've already melted that in the microwave, or you can do it in the microwave in 30-second bursts, or you can do it over a pan of simmering water in a bowl as well. It's entirely up to you. So we've got that ready there, and then we've got 125 grams of unsalted butter here, and then I need to get another 2 eggs. Just bear with me. That many recipes on the go, I can't see what I've used and what I haven't used. Thank you. So I'm just going to use my egg bowl from before, so I'm just going to pop in 2 eggs into here. Okay, so we've got 2 eggs, and then next we need 300 grams of golden sugar, brown sugar. Doesn't seem to make that much of a difference. I'm just using the golden pasta. We need 300 grams of that. And then I've got some milk. I'm just going to add a little bit of milk into it. And then, of course, we've got our cocoa powder that we're going to use. Okay, so the first thing to do is to add the butter into our mixing bowl. So get rid of that there. Put on a new attachment, if I can. There we go. So I'm going to add in the butter. So again, softened butter in there. So that is 125 grams. We're going to add to that the sugar, which I'm just going to weigh out here. Work out these scales.
Trish's daughter wants all you are making now, so
yeah. Can't get this to set. Oh, right, I don't want mil, I want grams. There we go. So 300 grams of brown sugar or the golden sugar. I've used both because I always run out of one or the other, but it doesn't seem to make a difference to them at all. So we want 300 grams in there. I'm really rubbish at weighing stuff out. Okay, and we're going to pop that in with the butter. Stand up. So that is just going in there as well. And we're going to pop that on to beat. Oops. Okay, so next you need 130 grams of plain flour, which I've already weighed out and put back in this bag, because it's exactly what I had. So we'll just put it in there for effect. So into that I'm going to add in 60 grams of the chocolate cherry cocoa powder. And then we need to have, we've got all our ingredients lined up here ready to go in. We need to have our icing sugar ready, because we're going to just give the biscuits a little roll in some icing sugar before we put them in to the oven. So again, this is going to be baked on 140 degrees, and you need a baking sheet with some baking paper on ready as well. So I'm just going to weigh out that icing sugar without getting the roll. And it's just 100 grams roughly that you need. So this makes between 12 to 15 cookies. That's what I got out of it yesterday, but today I'm going to make them slightly smaller, and you'll probably get out about 24 roughly. So again, it's just on your preference of size. Okay. My butter doesn't look like it's melting down very well. Just gonna give that a scrape. Yeah, this butter's gone rock hard as well, which is just typical. Always on the live. Never when I'm at home. Just when I'm doing a live. So I think what we'll do is we'll just add in a little bit of milk now just to help get this mixed in. So just about 2 tablespoons of milk gone in there. Give it another whiz. So again, with this recipe, we are getting that doughy kind of texture as well. So don't be too worried if your butter just, went soft to hard. It's going to be fine. Always fine. So into this, next we're going to add in the eggs. So that should hopefully help soften that up a little bit. We'll get them mixed in. And then to that, we're going to add in our dry ingredients. So that is the cocoa powder and the flour that we weighed out before. Oops, sorry. Wibble wobble. Just give that a quick mix. And then the last thing that we need to add into that is that melted dark chocolate. So I can't do this with me. I can only scrape with my right hand. For some reason, I can't hold stuff in the opposite hand. So we'll just get all that melted chocolate in there as well. So that's going to really help with the consistency of these cookies. So to start with, we do roll these up as well. And get all that in there. Okay, and then again, we're going to mix that up. Okay, and that's enough. So the next thing that we need to do once this mixture is ready is again leave it to chill. So I have brought with me this same mix that I made yesterday that I have left in the fridge overnight, which is not what you need to do. It only needs an hour. So you just need an hour, and it's that cold at the moment you could just leave it out on the side, to be honest. I couldn't fit anything in my fridge yesterday, so I just left it on the side, and it was cold. I think my heating had gone off, but it was fine. So just give it one last mix when you bring it off your mixer. I'm just going to bring it over to this camera so you can see a bit better. So all you want to do is scrape it down, cover that up with some cling film and put it in the fridge for an hour if you've got space. If you haven't, then just leave it somewhere freezing or just cold, like your house. Okay, so I'm going to go to here's one I prepared earlier, which is here. So this is, bear in mind, this is from yesterday, so it's not going to look like this. It is going to look a lot smoother and a lot softer. This is just dried a little bit, but I am going to recook the ones that we've just made later on today so I can show you what they look like, what we've just prepared, because I'm a little bit worried that these ones might be a bit dry, but we're going to go with it. I'm going to show you what you need to do. So it's like, you see here?
Yes, perfect.
So it's still like a soft, doughy consistency. So again, I'm going to make small ones because I want to just see how many we can get out of if they're smaller. So again, I'm going to just roll into little balls like so. Can you see my icing sugar there? Yeah, we're just going to drop it in the icing sugar, give it a little roll about, and then pop it onto the tray. So you're just going to repeat until you've used up all your dough. So these have already had the chilling, and because we want them to turn into cookies, they don't need to go in the freezer like the velvet snowballs did. So you need to make sure that they've got plenty of space between them. So you might have to do this in a few batches with your tray, or if you've got 2 baking trays, then you can fill them both up and then take them out. So we're just doing a nice roll about. So we'll get a few of these in. Has anybody else had problems with rolling a ball? I just can't seem to get a ball. Surely it's not just only me.
And how long do you have to leave it to cool?
You have to leave it to chill for an hour. An hour is all it needs. Because I did these ones yesterday, I just left some of the mix so that I could have something ready, because otherwise we'd just be standing here chatting for an hour waiting for them to come back out. So I just thought I'll keep a bit of the mix from yesterday and then you can see. So only an hour and then they're ready. So you can start them in the morning, get a few jobs done and come back to them. Which is great in my house when you've got a toddler running around emptying all your drawers. You need to keep stopping, so at least it spaced it out a bit. Okay. So I'm just going to get 8 on this tray for now, and then we're going to pop these in the oven.
Iris can't roll neither.
It's what?
Iris can't roll neither.
What? Maria promised she was going to do her best English.
I mean, she has problem as well rolling.
Oh, rolling. Right, got you. Once Maria did the action, I got what she was saying. Yeah, I just don't know what it is. I just can't roll. Mine turn out like Jupiter with a little ring around it. I mean, great if I was making something space themed, but I never seem to be doing.
Can you repeat what you are making now?
So I am now making the snowy chocolate crackle cookies. So we've got some over here, which I'll just bring one over. So these ones are a bit bigger that I made yesterday. So we'll split one open so you can see. So they're a nice chewy but soft cookie. So if I just break that open there, you can see inside. So these are chocolate cherry that I've used today, so they're a really nice flavour. So I'll just pop that over there, so maybe I'll have a munch on that. Okay, so once we've rolled them out, we're just going to pop them in to the oven. So like I say, you need to do them in a few batches because they are going to spread out into cookies once they're in there. The icing sugar gives it that nice crackly effect. And I did make some red velvet ones, and I didn't put the icing sugar on these ones, so exactly the same recipe apart from I've added in some red colouring just so you can see that crackle effect on there, because I put quite a lot of icing sugar on there, but these are the same recipe just with a bit of red colouring in. So we'll get these ones into the oven. And we'll have a look at those.
Do you want me to give you?
Yeah, the snowballs. So these recipes look very similar into what I'm doing, that I'm making them into these ball shapes, but whereas I've added the icing sugar before baking with the crackle cookies, oh that is gold, these ones are just going to be, so they're quite hard now. We want these to stay in that shape, so we're going to add the icing sugar after they've been baked, and they will need to 2 coats. So I'm going to pop these into the oven as well, and then I'm going to come back to some that I made yesterday. So we'll pop these ones in. So they need to go in for 8 minutes. So pop them in there. And then I need a bowl again. Oh, using some bowls. I'm having up this washing today. So I'm just going to grab one of the snowballs that I made yesterday, and you can tell by my terrible rolling that mine aren't that round. So like I said before, I got these little miniature cupcake cases from Sugar and Crumbs. I'm pretty sure that they're still on the website. They come in a range of colours. I've got a few different here. I've just like picked out the red and green because obviously they're nicer for Christmas. So they're quite cute. You can use them for all sorts of things. So here's my little snowball. I'll just chop it open. And it's like a doughy truffle / doughy cake sort of taste. But when you eat it, it's just really nice. I can't explain. I've already had 2 this morning, and I was thinking I'm not going to have any left to show you. But that is what we're aiming for. So I'll just put all those little crumbs over there, and I'll eat that in a minute, obviously. Remember that the diet is now cancelled till after Christmas. There's no point in starting now. There's no point in carrying on. You might as well just wait till after Christmas when everyone else starts, and then we can all team build from there. Okay, so the red velvet, I was using the Santa Snowball, wasn't I? Yes. So it's this one. So bearing in mind that these were done yesterday, and you meant to do this, you meant to bake it, cool it, roll it. So these are from yesterday, so they have dried a little bit. But again, I will show you the ones later that we're making today. I'm just trying to finish a recipe so you get the idea. So have your little wrappers ready. Now you can put these in a little gift box, or you can use an egg carton or something like that you can just use as a little tray. And all you're going to do once they're baked is, I've got some here, is you're just going to pop them in, roll them around in the icing sugar there. Can you see that?
Yes, perfect.
And drop them in there. So, and that is it. So these, like I say, these ones I've dried up from yesterday, but you're meant to do this straight away. So I'm just going to pop in for there, like that. Can you see those ones that I've put in the containers?
No.
Here?
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
That one, yes.
Yeah. And there you go. That's our little red velvet snowballs. Okay. Whew. Move some stuff out of the way. Okay. Another wipe down. So I just need to keep an eye on the time to make sure that I don't overcook them. Okay, so let's pop those ones over there with the ones that we made earlier. And we'll move on to our teddy bear ginger creams, which are these little guys here. I'll just bring 2 over. So these are our little there. So it's basically like a little sweet. It's icing sugar and egg white with a little bit of lemon juice. So it's the kind of thing that you can make because you've always got those things in. I constantly think, oh, I'll make that, but I haven't got this, or I'll make this and I haven't got that. This is one of the things, I always have icing sugar in, I always have a bit of lemon juice, and more often than not, we've got an egg. So I'm going to show you how to make those. So I'm just going to grab another bowl, another one. Okay, so for this, you just need 1 egg white, which I put put somewhere earlier. There it is. So I've got 1 egg white here. I've got my Smarties for decoration, my lemon juice to stabilise my egg, and then my icing sugar, which I'm using the gingerbread, which is here. So obviously with this recipe you can use any of the flavours that you want. Gingerbread's so popular around this time of year that I just thought we'll give this gingerbread a go, and it does taste really nice in there. I'm losing my voice. Okay, so back on the scales we need 250 grams of icing sugar. Is everyone following? Or am I getting a bit lost with the different things?
No, they are fine.
Yeah?
I think so.
You're all still with me?
Yes.
Okay, so 250 grams of icing sugar is going in this big bowl here. And then to that we're going to add in egg white and lemon juice. So I'm just going to add in the lemon juice to the egg white now. Now I have coloured these ones yesterday in blue, just because I thought it'd be a different. So just a teaspoon of lemon juice in with that egg and just give it a little stir. But I'm not going to colour these ones. If you wanted to colour it, as soon as the mix starts to get wet, when I put the egg white in, that's when you add the colour in. But I will tell you. I'm just going to give my hands a quick wash. And keep losing everything. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add the egg white into the icing sugar, but we're just going to do it a little bit at a time, because what we don't want to do is put too much liquid in. So this is a large egg white that I've used. Sometimes I need it all, sometimes I don't, but it's just one of those recipes. So I'm just going to add in a little bit into a little well in the middle there, and I'm just going to start mixing that together. And it'll look at first like it's not wet, but it's like when you make runny icing, you think you've not got enough water, you add a bit more in and you've gone too far. So what we want to do is get like a thick paste consistency. So don't add anything yet, just wait until you've mixed that in.
Amy is asking where can she find the list of ingredients, the recipe for the cookies.
Okay, so the recipe is all going to be on the Sugar and Crumbs Mixing It Up website. So it's www.sugarandcrumbsmixingitup.co.uk, and it is on the back of all the packaging. So it's just on this side, lower,
Yes, please.
lower there.
Perfect.
It's just on all the packaging. It's on the back of the icing sugars and the cocoa powders. And if you go onto the main website, there is a link to the recipes as well on there. Okay, so I'm going to add in a little bit more of this egg white and then mix that in.
Can you do this mix in a mixer or?
You can do, but I think sometimes your mixer can just run away with it, and it just mixes even when you've got it on a low speed, it mixes very quickly. So I always make it in a bowl just so I can feel that it's coming together. I can feel that the consistency's there, and then I know that I haven't gone over. And the thing with it, the reason why I'm doing it like this, just adding a bit at a time, is that one large egg is different to another large egg. It's not necessarily the same weight, or when the yolk might be bigger in one and there's less egg white. So I use a large egg white just to make sure that I'm going to have enough, but at the same time I don't always need to use all of it. So I've got a little bit left in there which I don't think I'm going to need to use. I'm just going to take that off there. So this does start off a bit sticky at first. So we'll just scrape that off. And then just use your fingers to bring the rest of it together. So it's like you're kneading it almost, but you're only doing it quite gentle. So I'm just going to take it out of the bowl now and pop it on there. Now, I don't know whether any of you noticed, but yesterday I was having a bit of a right day. I had so much on and I just thought I could do with some help. So I asked my daughter I asked her to do this bit for me to make the ones that we did yesterday. And she's used the icing sugar that I rolled the red velvet snowballs in. So that's why they've got a little a little bit of, I don't know whether you can see it or not. Can you see it? It's got like a few little crumbs in there. But I'm being honest, don't mind being honest, tell you that I make mistakes too. What flavour have I made these with? Gingerbread.
Yes.
So I'm just going to grab a little bit more gingerbread icing. I'm just going to pop it at the side there so that if we're getting a bit of a sticky mess, I can just add, I'm just going to add a sprinkle onto there. So yeah, I'd weighed out the icing sugar and she just used the wrong bowl. And I've got two other bowls here, one that I've done with the cherry icing and one that I've done with the Santa snowball, but they still tasted absolutely fine. But I just thought if any of you pick it up, you'll be like, what's those red bits in there? So I'm telling you the truth. Okay, so we're just going to keep kneading this so it all comes together. So it has gone a bit sticky there. We'll just pull that up and reattach it in. I'll just spread a bit of that out, I think. So you just want it to be kneaded so that you can pick it up without it being sticky to you, really. So we're doing white bears now. But if you wanted to add in a colouring, while you're adding that egg, when it starts to all come together, just add that bit of colouring in then, and you'll be fine. Okay. So you'll end up with something like that. I'm just going to pop it there. Okay. So all you need to do is get another baking tray, which don't seem to have any, but it doesn't have to be a baking tray. I think we'll just do it on I think Maria's found us one. Thank you very much, Maria. Just like the camera woman, assistant, everything. So just get a little bit of bacon. It just stops it from sticking, but you don't have to use a baking tray. You can just put it straight onto your baking paper. It just depends where you're going to leave it. These need 3 to 4 hours to set properly. So it's just putting it somewhere that you can easily move it out of the way if you need be. Okay, so all you're going to do is take, and again, this depends on the size that you want it to be. You're just going to take about a grape size piece. Oh, my odd shaped ball goes there again. Mm-hmm. And you're just going to, I'm just going to put a bit of sugar, press that down to create the bear's face, like that. Now thickness, again, it depends on whether you want a thick, chunky bear or whether you just want a nice little piece that they can eat, a nice little mouthful, entirely up to you. So then you need a second piece, like a blueberry size piece, which is going to be the muzzle. And again, you just pop that on there, like that. And then just a really tiny little piece that you can split into 2. I'm making this a bit sideways, but
it's okay.
I should have done it facing you. We're just going to add on the ears. So because it is super sticky, we don't need anything else to stick with. It's just this, and it smells absolutely lovely because we've got that. I'm just going to turn it around there for you. Can you see that there?
Yes.
Is that better? So the Smarties, they're here. So again, any colour, Smarty. Pop a little nose on there.
Lynn is asking which colouring are you using for the teddies?
I'm not using any colouring in the ones that I'm making now, but I did use the Colour Splash, I think it was Peacock that I used yesterday. I just used the tiniest amount because Peacock can be quite a dark blue, but I just wanted a little hint of blue. So that was the one that I used yesterday for these ones, but today I'm just doing the white ones. But it's part of the Colour Splash range, which looks like this, and they're available on the Sugar and Crumbs website as well. So we are going to add in eyes later, but we need to just let it set slightly, because if you do it now it kind of stretches too much. We just want it to preset a little bit. So I'll just pop on a few more of them. So very, very easy to make these. A bit more ice and sugar. It's extremely sticky today. Just going to give that a quick roll. Do you smell the gingerbread?
Yes.
Oh, I better
And the
get those
cookies.
cookies out of the oven. I'm just going to quickly show those cookies. Oh, they've just come out of the oven, so you can see that crackle effect. Whoops, now whacking my teddy bear. Do you see that?
Just about.
Hold on. There.
Perfect.
Yeah, so they're smaller ones that I made yesterday. So entirely up to you. You can leave them like that, or you can roll them in another bit of icing sugar if you wanted to. I'm just going to pop that over there, but it's burning my finger. Okay, so let's get back to these bears here. I always forget about stuff that's in the oven when I'm here. I know somebody normally shouts. Okay, so grape size piece, flatten down there. You probably get about 20 bears out of this mix. So again, another little bit, a little blueberry sized piece for his muzzle, Smarty for his nose, and then 2 little pieces for the ears.
They are so cute.
This is it's the kind of thing that kids like doing. So you can play around with colours and things and do whatever you want, but it's so easy for you to make, so easy for kids to make, and it's just a bit of fun, really, something different, a nice little treat that you've made yourself. I always think people are a lot more impressed by something that you've made yourself than what you've bought.
Yes.
So again, little muzzle, we'll have a yellow face here. And you don't have to do teddy bears, you can do the same recipe, you can cut it, roll it out, cut it into shapes with little cutters. So you could have little hearts for Valentine's Day. You could just do it as the usual little, like what peppermint creams are, and make it into, you know, just a thicker round piece. It's entirely up to yourself.
Geraldine has to go, but she wants to say that thank you so much for the demonstration.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. It's just recipes that I do at home all the time are recipes that I want to do on live, because I've done them so often that you feel a bit more confident. It's when somebody asks you to do something that you're just like, I've never done that, or I've done it once, and you're a bit unsure. But these recipes that I do, I have made them a lot with the kids, or with, I say kids, with my daughter. My son's not really into baking, but it's just nice to show somebody else, and I think that's what the tutorials are all about. It's about showing things that we've learned, or that other people have showed us how to do, and then sharing it with somebody else. And I'm actually doing some baking this week with my friend's little boy who wants to do some cupcakes that I made last week, so it's quite nice to show people different things, different ideas, and see them then carry that on. And we've all got to start somewhere, haven't we?
Yes.
So I'm just going to do one more of these, and then I'm just going to pop them aside. So they're going to need 3 to 4 hours to set, and then once they are set, you can put in your little eyes. And I've just used a little toothpick. Can't actually pick it up because my hand's sticky. Can you see them there? I've just used a little toothpick to put the eyes in there. So the recipe is on the site already for these. So give them a go. We'll have one more colour.
Green one. Amy and Elanie are going to have a go at the cookies because they think that they look so yummy.
Yeah, good. Well, make sure that you pop onto our page or on the group and show everybody what you've made. It's great to see when we do something that somebody has learned something from it and give it a go. So do please share that with us. That'd be great. Okay, I'm getting a right mess here. I'm going to pop this aside. I'm just going to have a quick wash of the hands, and then I'll just quickly show you those reindeer chocolate cones using our cocoa powders, and then we'll just have a quick recap of everything that we've gone through. So just 1 minute. Maria will have to talk to you in Spanish.
Great.
Any questions about anything, Maria, that I can answer while I'm just having a quick tidy up?
No, they are saying that they are going to try to make them this weekend.
Okay.
And Helen, who did the roulage, said that she couldn't have time to take a picture because they did eat it too fast.
Right, yeah. I know, well, I was like that with the first one that I made as my one to show my mum. I'll just be back with you in a moment. Like a little treat a day, but yeah, just make sure you got plenty of icing sugar in there. So I'm just going to move this aside so that I can have a bit of tidy space.
Well, we lost the sound for a moment, so can you please repeat what to do with the cream and the molds?
The cream, oh right, okay, yeah, the cream and the mould. So if you're going to use a mould for the creams, you need to make sure that you put plenty of icing sugar into all the little crevices of your mould before you put the cream in, and it has to be a quick in and out sort of thing. So the longer it leaves it in there, then that icing sugar is going to be absorbed. So I'm just going to move that across there. So I've got a lot to finish, just because I've only like done a bit of every recipe. I'm going to have loads to bake after I finish this. Right, okay. So I'm just going to go through a few different ideas for your Christmas Eve boxes or stockings or anything like that. Now, I've been on the live before and I've made marshmallow. I know quite a lot of you have given that a go. It's one of my favourite things to make. It's really easy to make once you know how. And I made these the other day. I've tried the salted caramel flavour because normally I use quite fruity flavours like the raspberry ripple or the lemon drizzle, but I had some salted caramel and I just really fancied giving it a go with the marshmallow. So on top of what I've made today, I've made some marshmallow for friends, and I've brought one for Maria today to give her a try. These are so soft, like little pillows, and they last for 4 to 6 weeks, but I mean, there's no chance of Maria lasting that long. They'll be gone by the end of today. Yes. But I've just used a little comb, tied it up with a little bit of red ribbon there. Done another one there with green. I think I got out of it, I put 10 pieces in each bag, and I think I got out 10 bags from one recipe, so it was quite a lot. And then loads of you have seen me do the fudge recipes. So I made these last week for a stall that I did, and I'm just showing you little other ideas that I haven't shown you today, but there is videos for you to watch and make. So I've already done the lives for these, so you can find them on our YouTube channel, or you can go through a link through the website as well. So I did these for a stall last week, and I've made salted caramel fudge and then vanilla fudge, and there's great little bags that you can pick up from anywhere. But I made loads of the stuff because I make it for everybody and just give it out around Christmas when I see people. The window cleaner came yesterday, he had some. The girl that came to do my nails, she had some, and it's just nice to give somebody a little treat that you wouldn't normally give. So I'm just showing you some little ideas. But also, if you don't want to go out and buy specialist little bags like that, what is better than a piping bag? It is not only a piping bag, but it's a bag. And you could put your marshmallow in there, you could put your fudge in there, and you could tie it up. And it is actually what I've used to make these little Rudolph reindeer cones today. So I started making these a couple of years ago. I know a lot of people make them and sell them for these Christmas Eve boxes, but this is something that I just normally make when the kids are at school, and then I put them in their Christmas Eve box or stocking. And they're just cute little things, very easy to make, and it's made in a piping bag, so it's something that you've already got. And I've used in this the cherry cocoa powder, which a lot of people don't actually realise that with the cocoa powder, it isn't just for your cakes and your brownies, but you can use it to flavour your fudge, you can use it to flavour your marshmallows, your cookies, truffles, all sorts of things. Anything that asks you to use cocoa powder, you can use these, and we do them in a variety of flavours. The most popular being the chocolate cherry and the chocolate orange, which I've got one over here. Just stocked up today actually because I've used so much. But that's the chocolate orange one. Is there any left of the other flavours, the lime and the coconut?
I think the coconut we have left.
Yeah. So we was doing the cocoa in the coconut, which is a beautiful flavour. You imagine coconut brownies, coconut chocolate brownies, like a bounty in a brownie. It's amazing. But I use these for all sorts of things. So just wanted to show you that not only can you use them in the recipes like I've used today with the cookies, but you can make things like this. So I'm just going to show you. It's very quick, it's very simple. Kind of thing that you can do in a couple of minutes, and more often than not, if you're a baker, you've definitely got some piping bags in the cupboard. So you need your piping bag, some Smarties, some mini marshmallows, which I've got here, and then I've also got some large marshmallows, which everybody likes in their hot chocolate. And you can add a little sticker on the back just explaining what you need to do, but all you really need to do is add hot water or add hot milk and just pour the entire contents in. Okay, so I'm just going to grab some scissors because not got this. I came in a bit rushed today, which was why we was a bit behind, and I didn't actually explain why we were behind, but I just had a few hiccups on the way, should we say. So it's a bit get in and get done as quick as we can. Okay, so I've just been to get scissors. I don't actually need them, but anyway. So I think I've got some Smarties that I've already got out here in 2 different colours. So I've done a purple one. You can do any colour, you can mix it up, but the idea is that your Smarties are representing the nose. So you're just going to pop in the Smarties into the bottom then. And then what I'm using the big marshmallow for is to just be like a little block between the cocoa powder and the Smarties so you can still see them. So I'm just popping that in there. So that's my nose part. And then I remembered why I got those scissors out now. And it's just in case I can't open the cocoa powder, because sometimes I can and sometimes I can't. There we go. So you only actually need 2 tablespoons of this cocoa powder. So I'm using the chocolate cherry. So you just need to lift your piping bag, push down on that marshmallow, and then hold it tight so that the cocoa powder's not going to fall down the sides. And we're just going to take 2 tablespoons of the cocoa powder and pop it on the top. All the time you need to hold the piping bag tight as you can, so that's why it's best to have everything out. And then you take your little marshmallows, pop a good handful of them on the top, like so, because you can just never have enough. And then you need to hold that then there at the top and give it a little twist. And then I've got, did I do yellow? I did, yeah. And then I've got my little trusted Sharpie pen and my little pipe cleaners, are these called?
I don't know.
But I don't know why I'm asking Maria, because she's probably got a different name for them in Spain. So all I've done is I hold it over my finger and I just wrap round, getting smaller and smaller, and then spring that up and then unravel slightly and pop that in. So not so it's touching your marshmallows, but just so you can hold it in when we tie it back up. So again with the next one, so these are like your little antlers, like that. So we're just putting in a nice little spring. So you need to place them in so that they look like they're both coming out either side. Give that a twist, like so. And I've not brought the actual thing that I need to twist it together. And then just use your Sharpie pen then to draw some little eyes on there, so you can do some big eyes, small eyes, girl eyes, whatever you want to do. Add in some little eyebrows, whatever you want. So it's just a very quick, easy thing, and if you've got the cocoa powder, it makes a delicious hot chocolate. And there we go, just another little idea to add in. So that's our little reindeers. So you do need a little bit of ribbon. I think I've got some green ribbon actually, yeah, there it is. A little bit of ribbon or a little bit of something just to tie around there. So we'll pop that on so I can actually let go of it. And then we'll just recap what we've done today. So is there any questions about anything, Maria?
No.
In English?
No.
Okay. There we go. So there's our little reindeer hot chocolate. And they look quite cute and colourful, and I quite like that they're not the traditional brown antlers and things like that, but it's just pretty much stuff that you've already got in as well. So I'm just going to pop them over there. So don't forget to have a look at the marshmallow recipe. So I've made all sorts of things this week like this that you can have a little go at. And there we go. Okay, let's run through what we did today. It was a lot. So I'm just going to move some stuff over and we'll bring in what we did make. I'm going to finish off everything else and then we can, I can't pick this up. Ooh. So we've got in our snowballs. See Maria going into panic mode to make sure it all gets on the camera.
Yes.
So we've got our red velvet snowballs here. We've got our little bears here. Don't know where the other ones went. Where's the white ones? Oh, they're there, they're on the tray. So we've got the white ones that are setting here, but they're going to look like these ones that I made last night. We've got our cookies that we made, our Crackle cookies, our red velvet Crackle cookies, and our other bits. Is that everything?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm getting a bit lost. So, like I said, all the recipes are on www.sugarandcrumbsmixingup.co.uk. This Facebook Live will be on our YouTube channel later on today. There'll be no short little videos, will there, for these? So you are going to have to watch it and fast forward to the bits that you want to see, or just go directly to the website and follow through. Just a few things that I need to say.
Okay, meanwhile, where can you get the little bags that you use for the fudge?
These ones?
Yes, please.
The Santa ones?
Yes, and the monsters.
They're just off Amazon.
Okay.
You just buy them in packs. And then these, they're just like the piping bags. But you can use the piping bags the same sort of thing to fill anyway. You can dress them up with ribbon and whatever you've got in. I just normally have a good look around what I've got, like 3 baking cupboards, so I have a good look around and see what I've got, and there's normally stuff that I have forgotten about, but yeah, you can do that. So I need to say that next Thursday Carol is going to be in the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen, hopefully with a few more of them to help out, especially with that washing up. She's going to be doing traditional Christmas treats, so I'm not too sure what that is, but it sounds great, and I think by the time we've done all these recipes, you're going to have plenty to get baking over next week and the following weekend, just in time for Christmas. So please tune in next Thursday at 11 o'clock for the Christmas treats with Carol. That's at 11 o'clock. Unfortunately, there is not going to be a Facebook Live on Monday. We have had a bereavement in the family, and we can't be here on Monday. So there's no Facebook Live. So apologies for that, but we hope that you understand and that you've enjoyed today. And there's always next week to look forward to. So please join us next Thursday. I don't know what the date is. I think it's the 20th.
I think so.
20th
yes.
of December, so a few days before Christmas, just in time to get those last few ideas in. Please join Carol then, and don't forget about the new products. They'll be on the website, and I don't know what else there is to say. There's been so much, but I hope you've enjoyed today. If you've got any questions or anything that's not been answered so far, we will try and get through those and answer them for you. But I hope you've enjoyed today. Thank you from me for joining me, and Maria as well. It's been a bit hectic, but it's been fun. So thank you very much, and we will see you again soon. Bye.